what up? It's Ponter here, and I got another game for you guys. This time on Seaside, between, I believe this is ENS under some Smurfs. They're playing on the USSR side, and they're playing against Spearhead, and they've got kind of got a polygot team going, and ENS, whatever this V clan is, a bunch of Smurfs. They're already starting off with the planning, and this is a very good team. They're probably top tier, top 10 teams at the time. I think this was in 2009 that this game was played. And Spearhead, I mean, I like these guys. I still have Mujahid and Positron on Steam, and Positron is a fellow Canadian, so shouts out to them. But in terms of teams, when I was on Shiny, I was never that scared of Spearhead, and I just have a lot of games of Spearhead getting crushed. I don't want to spoil this game. I don't know if you saw the title on the replay, but there's a reason why I downloaded this replay like 10 years ago, and it wasn't because of the high level play or because of the planning that we see going on right now. And obviously advanced strats are being called out here, probably like too subtle to be understood by anybody really, especially at this point in time. But really, planning, even in a 5v5 and it's an asymmetric match, you'll see here. Okay, finally, Spearhead has their team together. So they got Hunter kind of coming in as a backup player, and Wizen. So these are two really good players, and I think Butch is another Smurf from somebody. I think that might be. I actually can't remember, but I think he's a good armor player, and yeah. So Spearhead was kind of like a meeting ground or something for players, like, even though they weren't very good, like they weren't a competitive team so much, just like the smart and intelligent players liked them and hung out with them, and I think that was good enough. And now we're playing Snake, and just trying to figure out who's gonna watch what. ENS has that secret sixth player. That's critical to have that sixth player. And I don't know the context this game was played. Maybe it was just for fun. Obviously, because these players. There's a bunch of players who aren't actually on Spearhead, and it was like Spearhead's the kind of team. They just want to play a game, let's get some guys together. If we want to do a 5v5, they'll take. And this is kind of funny, I'll just slow it down here. So they're asking for the sixth. Get out of there. You can't have a sixth on the team. He's only going to be there to help out the planning, I guess. And then, they like to play 5v6. That's fair. That's fair. And here we go. The game finally starts. And now, Seaside. Let's really fast about Seaside. So Seaside is in the best maps. And I should have not jabbered and sped through that 14-minute thing, and also note that this is from a spectator, so we actually get to see both sides, so that's special. Seaside is one of the best maps. I think other than Riviera, Farmland, Hometown, and Seaside, those, I can't think of any other maps that are actually good, worth playing competitively. So, and it's all about this 3-pointer in the town, and this town's massive, and then you've got the research on one side and the bridge and the beach on the other side. I'm gonna fuck that up, but it's all about the town and in the inf battle in the town. And note right away, Spearhead's going double inf. So Butch is inf, Hunter is inf, and like Hunter is no slouch on inf, and it's against a double air. with mediums and a heavy. And yeah, Positron just gets wrecked right off the bat. And the first cap of town is so important in this because again, Wick is like a snowball. So you want to snowball your drops, and all of that comes from TA. So if your team gets a cap of a triple pointer, not only are you getting a positive tick probably, and they take the flanks too. Like, if you get the positive tick on the town, it's so hard to come back from. And no, just look at this drop spam, and this is what Seaside is all about. You've got usually at least 3 infantry players, usually 4 infantry players in total, and they all drop at the same time, and it's all about getting control of the town. And there's really nothing, short of fuel air bombing here, or here in the first 2 minutes. That's usually the play. It's usually just a grindy infantry fest. And ENS is on the back foot in the town, but Spearhead does make some mistakes here. So first of all, they gave up the beach very early. They didn't contest the research, and then there's just no presence of armor or support in the town. And the infantry is all back here, and they're very little up here. And they're not contesting the town. And it's the most painful decision to make when you're facing this, is when do I decap? Because you're losing seriously. But if you decap in an improper way, you're going to hand the other team a ton of points. And, here's another like kind of a head scratchy move. Like, you're going to gas infantry in the town. I don't know. I guess if you're on the team that's doing double inf, you don't want to blow up the town immediately, but fuck. Gas, I don't know. But anyways, the moment you need to have a critical mass in the center of town where you're actually confident you can cap it and hold it. And it's hard to make that call. And you can make it wrong a lot. Usually if you're in this position that Spearhead's in now, everyone chills. You don't decap immediately. You save for a fuel air bomb. You drop it there, and then you push, or you just toss a tank buster up the road, have an inf in this town ready to go, and then just boom, quick cap. And that's exactly what they're doing here. They're going for the quick cap, and it's pretty hard to stop a team that's trying to do that. But meanwhile, beach is completely uncontested, and they're forting up the research, which is brutal. And really, like, the infantry players should not have focused so much in town. Like, they should have done some drops over here. The tank player should have had some TA to maintain some drops over here. It's also tough when you're not double air, because look, they can defend this very confidently. Like, what's Positron going to do to clear this? He can't. And if Positron comes over here and spends all his missiles blowing this shit up, he's just going to get sniped by mid-air and not have a good time. Meanwhile, now there's some more reverse gassing. And again, they decap, and these guys, the Spearhead, don't have enough stuff on the other side of town to really contest it. And also, like, the armor player, like Mouge, where are you? He's messing around with light tanks. He's got his other tank back here, but there's no... Like, armor is a very tough role to play on this map. It's usually you have one heavy on over here, kind of chilling up here or over here, trying to not to get killed, and then you drop light tanks everywhere, and then you have light tanks over here, and then you have all the heavy kind of shooting up this lane, and a heavy shooting up this lane, and maybe a heavy transitioning between there and there. Like, it's all about shooting up lanes on this map until it gets flattened. And just trying to cap. And now here is the response to the double inf, and just pure cancerous triple medium arty. He gets a 4th medium arty at some point. Just disgusting. But it works. And it's so frustrating because your drops, you drop a guy into here thinking he's going to survive, but he's getting shelled by medium arty immediately. And like, you're going to get a face full of phosphorus as soon as you expose yourself. Like, look, he's landing in fucking a nightmare and just gets cleaned up. that's the power. That's how you counterbalance a double inf. And this is where you need to. Double inf is kind of a trap, and nice cap by them. Just boom. That's what you got to do. Not even waiting to get the other guy on there, because again, if you have 3 or 4 players all capping this central point, that's like 7 points each. It just adds up really fast, and yeah, the double inf is a trap because you get all these units on the map, and you don't want to switch because they get deleted. So if you've invested 30, 40 TA in drops and you got good map control, but then you really should transition to some other thing. But you can't, and it's hard to go double air because these guys have fucking ranked up. They got 5 ranked up medium attack helicopters, and it's just impossible. And really the tempo of Seaside is always desperately, from a tank player's perspective, you desperately cap the center town and you're holding on. The enemy drops a shit ton of arty on you, kills your inf, kills your heavy anti-air, and then the air player comes and mops you up, and you just go and cry and respawn. And that's the tempo. But the medium air just short circuits that, and Positron does not have a good game. Like, look at this, he's just getting jumped on immediately. He can't get his stack of heavies up. Meanwhile, their heavy player, he doesn't even need scans, he doesn't need scouts. He's just going hard, and good for him. And yeah, finally Mooj gets some tanks and stuff in the town, and Butch is just Russian infantry into, and this is, once town gets this damaged, it's really hard to push as inf. And this, I mean, this is just abusive. I've actually never seen that many medium artilleries in a game before, but it works. God damn, does it work. And yeah, this is not a high level game. I think I just wanted to show off Seaside a little bit because I think it is one of the iconic maps. I mean, not as iconic or well known as Hometown, but I think it's a little more balanced than Hometown. Like, you really can't complain about imbalance on this map, and compared to some other ones. And if you do have a good infantry team, you can dominate on it. That's a nice cleaning up those jeeps. Too bad they can't do anything about these. And again, this is medium air is like very, very good for map control, because if there was no medium air and the infantry player is bitch enough, the heavy air on USA is gonna go do a run around and clean it up like you do. And they have line of sight. They can see this nastiness happening, and finally they drop some TA on it, but they're just gonna call in more medium arty. There's nothing stopping them. But a heavy air player can't get away with those kind of shenanigans if there's a stack of vetted medium air just waiting for him. They're just like asking for him to come around, do an end around. And yeah, this desperate decap. This is when things are bad. And really, they do, like, there's no inf in town anymore from on the red side, but it's just you can't support an armored or infantry push in the Seaside. And like, this is just brutal. Like, that's a nice double air-to-air strike to put him in his place. But 20 TA to kill 4 choppers, I don't know about that. And yeah, like Positron, he can't do anything remotely similar because he just immediately gets blasted. And these things are so good they can kill shit on ground now, which is terrifying. And yeah, there's drop battles, kind of a low-grade drop battle going on over there, and at the research. And again, like, the infantry plays pretty passive in this. Sorry, although, he's going for it now. It's just tough to push alone as infantry. Like, there's no tanks in town at all, and there's one heavy anti-air. And I guess I would say it's tough to play support on this map because you have to cover three. You have to cover the beach, you have to cover the town desperately. It's the most critical, and then you have to cover the research station too. And then you spread out your shit way too much on this map. And it but you know, this is embarrassing. I mean, at least they get cleaned up, but fuck. And the inf is just getting destroyed piecemeal. Brutal. And you'll know, okay, Spearhead should have got put down by now. Why? Like, you might be asking yourself, where's the drops on gas station? You know, where's the drops on the supermarket? Where's the fabs? And also, not to spoil it, but where are the nukes? Because usually this map escalates to nukes almost like all the time, and it's because one team is gonna decide to transition away from inf. And at this point, it looks like Spearhead has transitioned away from the double inf, and now they're going double armor, which against a double air is, you know, it's a little sketchy to do. But I mean, you really have no other choice unless you get your own medium air player. And it's kind of like you just need somebody who has enough brain damage to consent to playing medium air. Like this guy, you know, he's loving it. This guy's ranked up choppers, he doesn't care. But it's hard to find those people who are willing to subject themselves to that. And yeah, like it's like a little resurgent comeback by Spearhead. And there's a reason that this has happened. And another good, you know, you really got to clean up your back a little bit, especially it's on the USA. The USA can has these forests. You know, it's almost worth it to sneak a scout back there. And yeah, we got the back and forth finally. I think the double armor gives you a little bit more map control, and you can just park tanks and make caps. And you don't have to worry. Like, your tanks can destroy most stuff. You don't even need a heavy air.
We're tracking a hostile nuclear launch.
And here we go. And you know, this is obviously not a serious game. I think everybody just wanted to play a 5v5, and then you get shit like this where one team is way better and they're just like, hey guys, you know, it'd be funny if we just nuke them a million times, and like yeah, just give me all your TA. I'm gonna nuke them. And then if you really killing it in the game and one guy's just getting all the TA stacked on him, and then he does a triple nuke and he actually had another 100 TA kicking around, he's like,
about to nuke us.
Just do it again, fuck it. And you know, one nuke, if you're playing to win, a nuke and then transition into double air with a whole bunch of drops on the town, that's a good play. And like, I've made that play a million times. And also, when you're playing against a worse team, just some bad manner nukes at the end, you know, it's fun.
Nuke incoming.
It makes for a decent game, and that's what we got here. You know, just Spearhead getting nuked over and over again. I think they get nuked 8 times.
Keep going.
Or
You're
something.
winning.
Boom. And yeah, at this point, it's just not fair. It's these guys are just laughing at him, like kicking them when they're down. Yeah, you had fun. You weren't the medium air player, but oh man, I don't even know what he was. I think he was a normal air player. Yeah. And medium air is gay.
The enemy
I mean,
a nuke.
Medium air is even, like, it's worse than gay. Sure. He's too brain damaged from playing medium air for an entire game, probably multiple games, to even consider it. You know, he's just an empty human. But yeah, he didn't lose. He played a really good medium air game. Like, medium air, to contain medium air, you just need another medium air player. That's it. Because somebody who's playing it smart can avoid the support. And if you just sit back and just lob missiles and not die and rank up your shit, you know, it just gets out of hands. And then if you have to switch halfway through to medium air, it's still not good enough because this guy's ranked up. He's going to win all those engagements. And you can only get lucky and, like, try to pick off the ranked up guys. Like, oh, just don't even bother. And yeah, we'll just play these guys out. I don't think there's anything else interesting.
You're about to win.
There's just more nukes. And yeah, nukes just are very disruptive. You really have no hope after it. And just setting up a nice spread of tanks. They don't care if they're overextended. Positron's going medium air. Look, he's given up. Like, he can't play heavy air in this under these conditions. And then armor can just run riot. And it's just not fair. And yeah, it's a frustrating... Seaside is a really frustrating map to play because of,
Enemy launched a nuke.
the fighting around here is just savage. And if you lose there, and okay, this is nice, just the truck spam. That's a good way to polish it off. And the medium attack helicopter is fully ranked up. Like, they could probably kill this tank. I mean, yeah, just rat-a-tat-tat. Get him. Oh, okay. And yeah, that's it. They're not even gonna last the whole 20 minutes. And they could have ended this game a lot sooner. I mean, I'll do a Nuke Needle map to talk about Nuke Needle. But yeah, still GG. You know, mostly GG from the guys dropping 8 nukes. I know, you know, the tactical aid damage wasn't even that great. Like, those were very inefficient nukes. But whatever. So that's Seaside. Best map, North America. I'm sorry to everybody on Spearhead for showing this again, but hopefully people have learned something. I got a lot of Spearhead games for some reason, so get ready for some more. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you next time. All right. Can